Hey guys, welcome back to Release the Craftin. Priscilla here with Hallowtines Day number 5. And what's our theme for today? It is bones. Hope you guys are enjoying our magical, spooky, haunted Valentine's week. I know Smokey is, because he interrupted another filming session. So don't mind him. We love him, so he knows he has to be involved in Valentine's Day love things. But at any rate, as we are progressing on our Hallowtines, I hope that you guys are enjoying. I hope you're crafting along. Continuing with my theme of doing things that double as ephemera for journals, but also are giftable, I thought about our bone prompt and came up with these little bone tags. If you want to see how I made these, stay tuned. Okay, so I'm going to start out with these 4x6 laminating pouches that I picked up at the Reuse and some alcohol ink. I'm going to cover the back with enough alcohol ink to get really nice coverage, but not a stupid amount that like drips all off the page, because that's just going to be wasted and I don't want to waste my ink. It's up to you. You can waste your ink if you want. I'm not the boss of you. And then when I've got a pretty good pattern that I'm happy with, I like a little bit of drippiness in there, I'm going to put those to the side to dry so that they can air dry, and I'm going to try not to sandwich them together. The laminate is going to fight you on that. It's okay if you get it sandwiched a little bit. It's not going to ruin your final product. Just be aware that you're going to have color on both sides as opposed to just the back, which is kind of what I was going for. And then I'm going to cut my papers to size. I want them to fit inside the pouches, but not be flush with the edges or anything like that, because of course I want a good seal on all sides, but also I want enough space so that I can make adjustments as I need to afterwards, and you'll see how that works out. And then because I had extra paper left, I decided to use just the whole sheet and cut down another piece. So we're going to make 3 of these little tags, which I'm realizing could also double as bookmarks now that I'm thinking about it. But hey, who can't have enough bookmarks? I've done bookmarks 2 days in a row. It's fine. It won't hurt. I'm calling them tags because that's what I thought when I made them. And then I'm going to look up some bone drawings online and draw out my own, but turn them sort of into heart shapes. You can draw out your own bones if you are artistically inclined. If you are not, then I would suggest to just go look up some bone drawings or anatomy drawings, things like that, so that you can get the shapes that you need and just print those out and cut those out of paper. But I wanted mine to have heart shapes, so I went and drew mine out, and I was not really concerned about them being, like, super accurate, because I'm here for Hallowtines, and I'm not here to pass my anatomy test. So, yeah, so we got some hip bones and some femurs here that I just turned into hearts, and then I have this little spine design, this little vertebrae where I turned one of the vertebra into a heart. Because I think it's really cute. And I'm really happy with how these came out. With the exception of this one, I was like, oh, I'll just add a heart to the end of this femur. And then I realized that that's not exactly the bone that I was looking for. So I had to rework it a little bit. So now it's like a radius and ulna heart shape, but it's a little broken heart, but that's okay because broken hearts are also spooky. But yeah, also be mindful if you're going to alter bone shapes that you might get a shape that you don't actually desire. But I went with it anyways because why not? I think I've managed to fix that issue for this one. And then I'm just going to cut them all out with a sharp blade. A little tip is when doing rounded edges to turn the paper, not your hand or your knife. You'll get a cleaner round edge that way, and it'll also save your wrist in the long run. And then I'm just going to erase the lines from the back. If you didn't use alcohol ink, or you don't have alcohol ink, but you wanted to make this, you could probably just cover the back with like paint and it would cover up all your pencil marks. But because I'm using alcohol ink and that's transparent, I wanted to get rid of that. But also be careful when you're erasing. Hold down your design to secure those edges because that paper will tear. Because this is just regular like printer paper. It's a little bit heavier weight, but it's printer paper. And then here what I'm going to do, because it matches my paper theme, but also because I want these shapes to really pop, is I'm going to go around the edges with white pen. I'm going to realize here that this thin line Posca pen is not nearly as opaque as I want it to be, so I'm going to switch it out for the thicker line and just sort of mark over the edge to get that shape defined. And this also is a good trick to cover up any imperfections that you might have in your design or your cutting. So if your cuts weren't exactly great, you can kind of mask it with this white line. So now my transparencies have dried. You can see there's a little bit of like crossover because, like I said, these little laminates fought me. But I'm going to add some glitter to the background. And this is just like a really pretty Mylar glitter that I have. I would advise using a flat glitter like a Mylar glitter and not a glass glitter because I'm going to run this through my laminator. A glass glitter would absolutely get chewed up by your laminator and ruin your laminate and your machine. So use a flat plasticky Mylar glitter. And I'm just going to run this through here real quick. And you can see we're already getting like really great results, and I'm really excited with how these came out. They're super cute. And like I said, because I used the Mylar glitter, I didn't have any issues running that through my laminator. Also, make sure that you check and see how thick your laminate is so you can set your machine. Gosh, that was a really hard sentence. Check how thick your laminate is so that you can set your machine accordingly. And then I'm going to trim off the excess because the little papers shifted while being laminated. So I'm just going to go around with a ruler and mark out 1/4 of an inch and give myself that little wall so that I have a nice clean looking design. If you don't have a laminator to do this, you can always use some acetate sheets and just glue them together. You could also use a pouch, like any packaging pouches that like stamps or stickers come in, and you can just close it up around that. There's lots of ways to pull this off without having the exact same items. So those are my ideas. If you guys have any more, I would list those down below. But you can recreate this without having to use a laminating machine. And now I'm just going to punch holes through them so I can run a ribbon through them so that they have a nice little pretty finish touch. These are the absolute worst eyelets, so I have to go back and smush them flat with a pair of pliers, but they're really cute, so I used them anyways, even though I know that they're the worst and they never crush properly. It doesn't ruin my final product. I'm happy with how these came out. And then I'm going to shoddily cut some ribbon, and then I'm going to seal off the edges with a lighter. Please be careful when you're doing this that you don't set fire to your ribbon like I'm about to do. And, you know, just keep it away from the flame, but close enough that the heat will seal the edges for you. This step isn't necessary. I just like to do this to cover up the fact that I didn't use very sharp scissors to cut my ribbon. It gives it a nice finished look, which is especially useful if you are gifting these. And this is what we made. I really love how these came out. The glitter that I used had like a duochrome type double shifting, whatever you call it. So it looks different in the light. Depending on which direction you're looking at, all the way from like pink to green, and I really kind of love that. I think it really pops in here and looks really great in our little bone shapes. And I'm really happy with how everything came out. If you are making these along with me, let me know in the comments below. If you are joining in the challenge, it's not too late. You have until Sunday to do your makes and use the hashtag Hallowtines23 done so that we can see it for the drawing on the 14th. But yeah, that's going to be it from me, guys. Check out April's channel tomorrow for day 6 of Hallowtines Day. Only a couple days left. So I hope that you guys are enjoying the week and are feeling the spooky love. And I will catch you guys all in the next one. Until then, happy crafting. Bye! Just kidding. All the information you need is in the description box below. Now, bye!